Hi, my name is Chef Vegan LaRue. Welcome to my cooking page where I'm going to be cooking some really great vegan dishes. This dish that I'm making now is a quick and easy pasta dish that you can make in one pan in very little time and use a lot of different options. And I will have an ingredients and instructions list at the end of the show. What I'm doing now is I'm washing some vegetables. I've got one zucchini and a package full of mushrooms, and I'm washing them very, very well. And now I'm going to boil some water for the pasta, and I used fettuccine, and I seasoned the water with olive oil, and I used a variety of spices like turmeric, sage, oregano, salt, pepper. Now this bowl that I'm using is too small, so if you were to be using a regular size cooking pan for the pasta, you would be able to fry the ingredients afterwards in the same pan. But since I had to use this little teeny pan, I have to use a frying pan to do my vegetables. But really, this is best made in one pot. So now I'm going to slice the zucchini, and while my noodles are boiling, and while my water is boiling, I'm preparing all the vegetables. They're going to be chopped and added to the noodles later. So here you see me chopping the zucchini and stirring the pasta frequently so that it doesn't get stuck together. But I use a good amount of olive oil, so that helps to keep the pasta from sticking together. I also have some cherry tomatoes that I'm adding, and it's just a matter of how many you want to put in. It's according to your taste, and they help to add kind of a nice sauce to the pasta. And as you can see, I'm stirring the pasta frequently and preparing the vegetables in similar size shapes so that they will all cook evenly. I take the stems off of the mushrooms and discard them. And although I think mushrooms look really good sliced, I prefer them to be chopped a little bit smaller. So I'm getting these vegetables prepared as I'm finishing up the noodles, and what I'm going to do, very important thing to remember right before you strain the noodles, is that you're going to be getting a cup or a cup and a half of the pasta water, but you want to wait till right before you strain the noodles. And this will add some thickness and give it a nice sauce. And it looks like I add a lot of liquid, but that's okay because it will get absorbed by everything. And so with the garlic, I'm pressing it down to squish it, and then I'm peeling it carefully and cutting the end off. And then I chop it in some pretty coarse pieces, but I don't ever have them crunchy. I'll be cooking that down. And I like to add a extra garlic. That is definitely an option. It's up to you. You can put any vegetables that you like into this mixture. It can be artichoke hearts, spinach, broccoli. I mean, it's endless how many different spices you can use. Also, changing the spices really can change the meal too. Now you see I'm taking a cup of the pasta water and setting it aside before I strain the noodles. And I'm going to leave the noodles in the strainer, and I would be using the same pot to stir fry the vegetables, but instead I have to use a frying pan. Here I'm cutting some purple onion. Purple onion mixed with mushrooms, it gives a really amazing flavor. I like to cut my purple onion, in this case, in a very, 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 very fine pieces. I was afraid of it overpowering. I would have been good using the entire half of purple onion because it was really, really good. So now that I have my mixture ready to be fried, I'm going to heat some olive oil in the pan along with a lot of spices. And the spices I used for this, I used sage, white pepper, black pepper, salt, dillweed, which is my new favorite spice at the moment. I just love dillweed. I used, and I used some saffron. And I heat that up in the oil, but you don't want to apply the mixture until it is all the way heated. So what I like to do is add a couple vegetables, and when they start sizzling, that's when I add the rest of the ingredients. And I stir it and coat it well and let it fry there and saute for a while. When the oil starts to get a little bit dry, then I start adding the pasta water bit by bit, slowly, and making kind of a sauce out of it. And if I need to flash steam it, I'll do so just to make sure they're cooked the exact way that I want. Make sure not to overcook them. But you don't want crunchy pieces of onion and garlic either, so you just keep an eye on it. As you can see, I cooked it to this boiling, bubbling consistency. And then I got a big glass bowl to mix it all in, where normally I would be mixing it all in the large pan. And this dish really takes 30 minutes, and I mean, there's so many variations you can use with it. See, I added the rest of the pasta water. And if you have a picky eater, you can take out some of the sauce, some of the liquid, and just put pasta and liquid, and then they can have some plain noodles and still get some nutritional value with all the seasonings and vegetables that were cooked in it. Well, thank you for watching my first cooking channel show. I plan to be posting a show once a week with vegan cooking to give you options and ideas for great, quick, easy recipes with lots of flavor. And I call this one Pasta Primero because it's not really a pasta primavera, so I changed the name a little bit, and this is what I call Pasta Primero. And here at the end I have the ingredients list and instructions in case I talk too fast. Thanks for watching. See you next week.